Hey guys, Ben Labadie here again, and I'm with Ward 4 candidate for council, Patricia Sylvain. Patricia, thank you for coming on.
Thanks, Ben. Nice to be here.
So, hey guys, like always, comment, ask questions, and if you're watching the replay, still don't be scared to ask questions, and you'll get back to them by typing in answers after.
Absolutely.
And get back to them and make sure that. And I want you guys, if you can, hit that share button at the bottom so other people can get to know Patricia as well. So again, hit that share button. Don't be scared to get involved yourself. That's what it's all about. So let's see. You're in Ward 4.
Yep.
And where is Ward 4 exactly? We've had some people on from Ward 4, but just remind us here.
Okay, Ward 4 goes up to the St. Clair River. It doesn't include Wellsford. It goes all the way east to Kent Road 15, all the way down to Highway 2, Longwoods Road.
Right.
And then it bypasses, of course, the city of Chatham, goes west of north of Gregory Drive, all the way down the whole Dover Township area. Right.
So it's a big area.
It's a big area.
It's a big area.
Yeah.
And you've been out knocking on doors?
I've been out knocking on doors.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are you hearing? What are you hearing?
I'm hearing people, actually I'm hearing a lot of support for me, which is really cool. I'm hearing people talk about accessibility issues, of course, gravel roads that need some work. They're wondering about the bridges. Why is it taking so long to repair bridges? I'm talking to farmers about drainage issues. The marina is a big hot topic for Mitchell's Bay right now.
Okay, I haven't heard about this hot topic of Mitchell's Bay Marina.
Well, apparently there's the current provider, the contract is up, but I haven't had the opportunity to look at the lease and to assess whether that's true or not and what all of the parameters are of his contract right now. Okay. But we've had some discussion with some people that live at the Bay about what they'd like to see happen there.
Hey Sue, how are you? Hey Amy Delton, how are you? Hey guys, hit that share button. Make sure to ask some questions, okay? And as you guys may not know, we're live with Ben, and we're drinking from the cups. There we go. Yeah.
Cheers.
Awesome. So, what do you do right now for work? Like, are you employed? Do you self-employed? What do you got? What do you do?
Work contract 3 days a week as a business developer for a food service company. Prior to that, I was an operations manager, and before that, I also worked in business development and account management for a purchasing group. So I worked there for 19 and a half years. I've also worked in long-term care, retirement home, and hospital.
All right. So. And how does all this stuff help you, or what kind of skills have you learned over a period of time that will help you be on council or help you make decisions and come to conclusions and such?
Well, I think that I know a little bit about a whole lot of things. Okay. So it gives me a little bit of a perspective, I think, in dealing with people, understanding their issues, just looking at how to operate a facility properly, energy savings opportunities, all of those kinds of things. And then, of course, you need to be able to be a good listener to be good in sales, right? So
awesome. Janice Lally, hi Pat, do you agree with the idea of a twin pad arena? And if so, where would we get the money to pay for it? Tough one from Janice. I like the twin pad arena, but not everybody agrees with me. What do you think? Where are you at there?
I would like to see it, definitely. I think we really have to look long and hard at what all of the constituents in Chatham-Kent want. I would start with a comprehensive survey to look at, first of all, we need to inventory all of the arenas, swimming pools, tennis courts, and that sort of thing that we have now. How are they getting used? How often are they getting used? Are there some things that we need to maybe phase out in order to have some extra money to basically maintain a new building after it's built? We need to look at, the second part would be inviting all of the stakeholders, and that is citizen coalition groups, the Lions Club, the Kinsman Club, all of our clubs that are in the area doing good work volunteering with a lot of people already, looking at how they can help us, looking at government grants, looking at federal grants, looking at provincial grants. Social services should be involved because it will probably be able to, we need to look at all of the populations being able to use a new facility. The accessibility committee needs to be involved right at the get-go. There's different other organizations like the CK Youth, the new CK Youth Positivity Group that was started. That is awesome. I'm glad to see that. And I also like even to see a younger demographic, children as young as 8 or 9 to be on a part of that committee, so that we engage people right from the get-go of what it is that they like, and then we look at also then all of the options that we have for paying for that.
Yeah, which would, you know, it's not all going to come from the municipality, right?
No.
Nobody would actually go for that. But, you know, you got federal, provincial levels of government, and as well as private, right? Partnerships in that to make this happen. Okay, so yeah, don't be scared to ask questions. What are your thoughts on the Great Ontario Marathon Trail using our railroad line from Chatham to Wallaceburg to Dresden now? Are you aware of my idea?
I am aware of your idea, Ben, and I have run a couple of marathons myself in the past. So
where have you run?
I've run in Ottawa, Detroit, and Chicago.
You got to do Chicago?
I got to do Chicago, but that was the year that it got canceled due to heat. So it was like 90 degrees at 7 in the morning, and
lucky duck.
Yeah, I still finished in 5 hours. I had to walk the last 10K.
I have done some walking. Vegas. I ran the Vegas Marathon, and there was 44,000 people, and I was like 4th last.
Yeah.
You know, do you know how hard it is to be 4th last out of around 44,000 people?
Yeah.
Wow, so marathon runner.
Yes.
And you bike. You do a lot of biking.
I've cycled so far this year over 4,000 kilometers.
Wow.
So I cycle in and around Ontario when I travel for my work. I bring my bike so I can do a little bit of hills and get a different perspective on what's out there. I've gone to Iowa, biked across the state of Iowa this summer.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you go to the Field of Dreams in Dyersville?
I did not do that, no.
I did, and I stole some corn.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Stole a couple cobs of corn from the field that actually exists. So
I would say yes.
Yeah.
But again, we need to look at the funding and how it's going to get paid. And I think again we need to have an organization that's going to take that plan of doing it and refurbish it, and that's going to cost a lot of money probably. But again, selling the steel, selling the gravel, repurposing a lot of that stuff is going to help pay for it. But that trail would be awesome because you've got Chatham to Dresden to Wallaceburg, and then even beyond.
Right.
We can hook up to Sarnia. Sarnia hooks up to Michigan. We could do a loop again across to Windsor. I mean, we can really move some tourists into this area.
You just took the rail to another level.
Yeah.
This is good stuff.
Yeah.
Sue, what do you think of that answer? I like it. And she's a marathoner. So when you see 26.2 miles...
It's 42.2 to me.
Yeah.
Right?
Awesome. But yeah, so it's 42.2, it's
awesome.
26.2, it is the distance of a marathon. So good stuff. So moving on, I like your ideas on the rail line. Okay. Moving on, what do you think are the greatest opportunities that you see in the future for Chatham-Kent and for Ward 4 in the next 4 years?
Well, definitely the biggest opportunity that I see in the business world is agribusiness. Right now it's a $3 billion business in Chatham-Kent. We've got 15,000 jobs already in the agriculture business. With the legalization of marijuana, we'll have some opportunity there.
Right.
More business coming in, perhaps, into the area. More people coming in to work in that field. Also, the processing plant coming into Dresden or to Wallaceburg is just fantastic news. There's also, with agribusiness, there's a lot of grant money out there that's available for our business people to get. There's up to $50,000 that people can apply for to help import, or I should say export their products to other countries.
Okay.
So that's an awesome opportunity right there.
Awesome stuff. Okay, we got Troy Labadie here. Troy, I can't see your entire thing. Okay, now I can. Can you tell me, it's a tough one because it's long.
Yeah.
You always know they're tough when they're long. Can you tell me your thoughts on the level of ambulance service in Chatham-Kent, increasing response times to patients' houses and increased demands on the emerge, resulting in ambulances waiting with their patients? So this is more of, what do you think about the EMS services?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, For the last 40 years, I've lived out in Grand Point, out basically in the boonies, as far to the lake as you can get. So anytime we have needed an ambulance, we knew that the wait was going to be at least 20-25 minutes. So living out in the rural areas, that's been that practice for a long time. However, we do have an aging population in Chatham-Kent, and I think that the services are at their max. We did increase the one shift for the ambulance service, and I think that will help with the waiting time. And I know we also will draw from Lakeshore or from Essex or from Lambton County in those areas when they have an ambulance available to us. So yeah, it's something that we have to keep on top of for sure.
Okay. Hey Nancy, how are you? And everybody else. Hey, don't be scared to Sue Clark. I like the way you see the big pictures. Good stuff.
Well, thank you.
Don't be scared to hit that share button. I mean, it's probably right there for you guys to hit. And don't be scared to ask questions and share your comments. What kind of challenges do you see in your ward, in Ward 4? And then what kind of challenges do you see for Chatham-Kent as a whole?
Well, I don't like to dwell on challenges per se. I think that we can always, right now I feel that we're in a really good place in Ward 4, in Dresden, in Mitchell's Bay, in Pancor, Grand Point, because we've got the international plowing match coming.
Right.
So everybody's busy working together. You really feel like that sense of community is really there, and I hope that that can go on after the IPM.
Okay. And are you part of the IPM at all? Doing stuff
I'll
there?
be volunteering a couple of days.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, and I think there's a lot of people. That's going to be a big, big deal for
It's
the
going to be
community.
a big deal. It's really exciting.
Awesome
I
stuff.
drive by there almost every day, and that tent city is.
Where is it at specifically?
It's on the Pancor line. So
Okay.
when you head out of Chatham North on the Bear line,
Okay.
you turn left on the Pancor line, and you'll see it within a kilometer. It's right there. It's huge. It's really exciting. I can't
And this
wait.
is a worldwide thing too, isn't it?
Well, it's international. Yeah,
International.
it's for a while. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Hey, don't be scared to ask your questions. For Mitchell's Bay, what do you think on tourism or Ward 4? I always think Mitchell's Bay when I think Ward 4.
Mm-hmm.
But what are the tourism opportunities for that area?
Well, we've got starting with the St. Clair River, which is the blue water.
Right.
It's just an awesome tourist destination right there, and we kind of hug off of Port Lambton and Sombre areas, going into Walpole, and then those rivers go right into Lake St. Clair, and just then we've got the marina right at Mitchell's Bay.
Okay.
So that's just an awesome, if you have a boat, that's just an amazing experience. But there's also a lot of opportunity for people to canoe up in some of those marshes, or to kayak, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
There's a lot of opportunities there that not all of Chatham-Kent ever gets out to.
That's true. That's true. That's always been in my backyard, so it's second nature to me to do that. But I guess I don't really think that. Well, we've got the beach bus, so people can get out there. We ride our bikes out there. My cycling group Sunday mornings we'll head out from Chatham to wherever the wind is blowing. We go into the wind and have breakfast out there. And I always see. Most of the restaurants are always busy for Sunday morning breakfast. Anywhere we go, whether we go to Dresden or Mitchell's Bay, it's a lot of fun.
And you do a lot of biking, so you cover a lot of ground.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Okay, let's move on to what can we do for youth to bring them back, to keep them here when they go to school and come back, and for opportunities there.
Well, I think the first thing that we should do is really partner with the colleges and with the apprenticeships, the trade unions, and those kinds of things, to make sure that we have the training right here in Chatham-Kent. So we've got the hydropole thing now working really well, but why don't we have a school of plumbing? Why don't we have a school of carpentry? Why don't we have an electrician school right here in Chatham-Kent, so our kids don't go?
Right.
And we really have to promote the trades in grade 8. It's too late when they're in grade 10 and 11. We need to start talking, the tradespeople need to go into the schools in grade 8, maybe even kindergarten, to talk about how exciting it is to be a plumber. You
kind of make a good point, grade 8. I haven't really heard anybody say that, but But kids, and even me when I was in high school, it was into computers, and people were being pushed towards computers, and if you want to have a good job, you gotta be in tech, and you almost left behind the skilled trades, and nobody took interest in that unless they're a family member or a father or mother was in some sort of skilled trade.
Yeah.
And you almost kind of had a period of time where wanting to learn vanished. But now it's like if you have a skilled trade, I mean, you can go anywhere you want, do anywhere you want, and pretty much fetch any money you want.
Skilled trades in the service industry are the two big areas of employment opportunities. I was on Indeed this morning, Indeed.com, and there were 696 jobs, I think, available in Chatham-Kent right now.
Really?
Of those, about 300 were full-time.
Okay.
So if we've got 300 full-time opportunities that we can't fill in Chatham-Kent, that tells me something, that we don't have enough skilled trade people here. We don't have enough service people here. Those were the two main jobs that I saw. The PSWs, there's a big need in long-term care, retirement homes for PSWs.
And that'll be growing.
And that'll be growing as we age. And that's an honorable profession. I mean, really, that's a very rewarding profession to be in.
Very tough. It's not easy.
It's not easy, and there's shift work involved, and I think that is what scares a lot of the younger people away is, I have to work midnights on Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Work. Scares a lot of people.
Yeah,
work
it's
scares
a
a lot of people.
word sometimes.
So how many jobs did you say full-time jobs were on Indeed?
I think 300 and something.
300.
Yeah.
Okay. And that also gives us issues when we try to promote Chatham-Kent to bring in big business, like big job producers or whatever, where they're employing 50 to 100 people. You know, having 300, when they see that number, and there's people that can't fill those positions, does it scare, do you think, people away?
I think so.
By saying, well, if they're having a tough time, you know, how are we going to get an additional 50 to 100 people? Because our population has come down. Maybe that's part to our skilled trades moving out of town. I don't know. What can we do to increase our population and increase that?
Well, I think, you know, we can try to attract the big fish, but we also have to help the current small business owners expand. So organic growth within their own business, it would be the best, the best way. And again, partnering with the colleges, getting a strategy out there the college will run any program that is going to attract students. So I know that through working with Fanshawe. I was on an advisory board with Fanshawe for a couple of years, and so I know that the college is in business to make money too. So if they have a program and there's a need, we can show them that we need to have this program at Chatham through maybe a St. Clair College. They'll do it.
Awesome.
They'll run that program. Just prove that we have a need here.
Awesome. That's my mom, Margot Labadie. Say hi to my mom. That gets points.
Hi, Margot.
All right. Hey, Mom. How are you? Don't be scared to ask questions, guys. Hit that share button, please. Now, when we talk about, let's go business development. A lot of people, we're talking small business. I get questions from small business. They private message me after, and they're trying to employ, get to 7 people, get to 8 people. And when they go to economic development, they kind of, or the people that are supposed to be helping them, they feel kind of ignored versus, they feel like, well, because I'm small, I'm not employing so many people, like the 50 to 100, they kind of feel left behind, and then they don't even bother going back. What can we do to kind of make it more friendly or more welcoming or more helpful to these small businesses that are really trying to expand and have the opportunity to expand?
So you mean when they're going to City Hall for
yeah,
help
when they're going for help, how do I get, what can I do to get more people? A lot of them, and when I say a lot of people, I'm talking about 6 to 7 people that have contacted me privately to say, I feel ignored, okay? Like I'm not important enough, because they may only have 2 to 3 employees and a fluctuating, maybe up to 8 when they're really, really busy. But they're having a tough time there.
I know in some of the places I've worked in the past, what we've done is we've put together some service level agreements with the different departments so that they knew that they have to achieve a certain score in order to meet that service level agreement.
Okay.
Right? So I can see that being implemented, and then, survey or a questionnaire comes out after you've had that that interaction with that department. What worked for you, what didn't work, how was your level of service. And if people get that feedback, I think naturally, people will want to improve themselves. That's what I found in the past anyhow. Sometimes they just kind of need to be told that this is not working for us and we need you to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't be scared to ask some questions. Help us out here. Throw some questions our way, comments, and even share your opinions. Let's go into infrastructure, okay? Because we're massive. Yeah. We have Chatham-Kent is huge.
800 bridges.
800 bridges. And a lot of people, when they think bridges, they think about the bridge downtown in Chatham, a big bridge.
Yeah.
Tell us about the little smaller bridges that farmers specifically kind of have to pay attention to. We have to pay attention to more. And people will understand most of the money in infrastructure goes to these little projects, little bridges that may seem little, but they're very, very important for the farming industry.
Yeah.
Give us a little idea on just how.
I know that Leon Leclerc has looked at that a lot in the last 4 years. And in talking to other people, what I've found was that, let's say there's a bridge on the Blue Water Highway that Lambton County fixed the same sort of bridge for $800,000, but in Chatham we spent $1,100,000 for the same sort of repair. What was the biggest difference? I think sometimes that we overbuild something that maybe just needs a culvert with asphalt over it, and instead we've replaced a whole bridge. And the other part of the infrastructure issue that people have been talking to me about is, why does it take so long to repair a bridge? When we have the ability to buy preformed concrete, have it shipped, and maybe fix a bridge in 2 weeks instead of 5 months for a road to be out. Again, I think we need some service level agreements with different departments within the city for us to gauge what it is the citizens want. What do we need? Right. Do we need to save $10,000 and have the road out for 5 months? Or is it more prudent to spend that $10,000 or find a different way to fix that same bridge and have it done in 2 weeks? I think we really need to turn over all of the stones and look at different ways to get the project done.
Because there's a lot of projects in Chatham-Kent that people would rather spend a little bit more money on to have, especially if anybody's been in the Chatham area. I know you're Ward 4, but in Ward 6, it's been a nightmare, it seems, for years between the bridges going out. And luckily, we didn't have the other bridge go out on an emergency while the other one was being fixed. That would have been a complete nightmare. We have Ryan Jackson, a candidate for Ward 6 Council. If money was not an issue, what is one thing you would do right away?
If money was not an issue, because it is an issue, but if it wasn't, the one thing that I would do right away is clean up buy that Navistar property, clean it up, and put the sportsplex there. That would be the first thing. That is such an eyesore when you come into Chatham. I would have said fix King Street, but now that it's fixed, I don't have to talk about that anymore.
Right. So if money wasn't an issue, fix up the Navistar property, actually probably buy it and then fix it up. What can we do? What do you think? Do you have any ideas? And I'm putting you on the spot here. What we could do to encourage Navistar to maybe clean up that property or make it more presentable, or even sell it or give it away to somebody that can clean it up, but more clean it up would be ideal.
Yeah.
Any ideas there on what you could do, or just communication?
I think communication. Get a new team of people at the table with the Navistar owners and have a let's start fresh conversation.
Yeah, a conversation that we can get somewhere with, because it doesn't seem like we have a whole lot of communication going on. Maybe there is. I don't know. Yeah. So what else do we have here? So you've been in business development. All right. What can we do with youth to kind of start youth entrepreneurship young? Is that something that you would be interested in kind of figuring out? And because if we can start them young, creating their own jobs, they could create jobs for people later.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Well, junior achievement is always a good way. Any kid that I've seen that has gone into junior achievement has always been a high achiever later.
Right.
So if we can run junior achievement, maybe mini programs right at the schools as an after-school program, I think that would help create that entrepreneur spirit for the kids.
Absolutely. Let's see here. Kyle Woodrich. What are your thoughts on the recent layoff threats for our nurses and PSWs in town? And do you think it's affecting people wanting to enter the field? I have no clue about that myself.
That was, I believe, at Copper Terrace.
Okay.
And I don't know why that happened, because I know that they were having staffing issues as well as all of the other long-term care facilities in attracting people. So I'm not sure if that was, you know, a management union sort of issue, an employee maybe that management was trying to use. I don't know.
Right.
I have no idea really, but it seems suspicious to me when I read it in the paper.
Yeah, because it seems like everybody needs more manpower at this time.
And I do believe that might be affecting people that want to enter that field, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's a field that will just be more people will be needing to get into that field.
Yeah.
And I believe St. Clair College does have a PSW
Yes,
program,
they do.
pretty
Yep.
good one. So, Kyle, thanks for the question. And keep in mind, you'll be able to maybe put more detailed answers later, typing them in if you want to. Yeah. Let's see here. Anybody else have any questions? Throw them our way. Let's see. Hi, Patricia and Ben from Mark. How you doing, Mark? What else do we got? How do we make Chatham Kent? Now you're one of the rare ones that come on that have been involved in fitness. You're obviously into fitness.
I am.
Chatham Kent is one of the most unhealthy communities in Ontario. We have a high rate of heart disease, high rate of diabetes. We're generally more obese than everybody else. We have a lower consumption of vegetables. And how can we get people to be healthier? Because that really ties into everything. Because again, when big business looks to locate a place that's going to hire 50 to 100 people, even 25 people, they want to know how healthy that community is. And generally, will be more directed to a healthier community than an unhealthy community. What can we do to encourage people to, you know, live a more healthy lifestyle here? Is it the atmosphere we're creating?
Well, I think one of the things that happened, and I might be wrong, but what I think is that when we closed Kingsman Auditorium, we didn't replace it with anything else. So at the Kingsman Auditorium, they had the recreation department for the city of Chatham had some programs there that were inexpensive. They ran, you know, some ad hoc kinds of groups that people could just go in and do a couple laps, or they could play racquetball.
Yeah, there was courts there, volleyball and basketball, I think.
And I think people, not everybody wants a structured program. Some people just want to be able to go somewhere and play pickup basketball with 3 or 4 other people, or they would just want to be able to go to a place and get a racket out and knock a couple of balls against a wall without having a structured program. But we don't have a facility, to my knowledge, in Chatham that is open, let's say 5:30 in the morning till 10:30 at night, so it's accessible for people that are working, and they still need to, you know, make the time to get somewhere, but there isn't anything available that's...
And I've tried to start youth ball hockey here, and there's no space available. By the time you look at all the people that want to play volleyball, they take up all the gyms. Yeah. And I don't know if anybody has a winter youth ball hockey program, but I mean, you know, when I was a kid, we had ball hockey. Ball hockey was much bigger, more people were involved. But, you know, even that, you're looking at all these spaces, even, you know, these little basketball games that they could possibly do at the Kinsman. We don't have, I mean, we do have the Bradley Center, and it feels like it's underused.
I was thinking of that today too, actually.
You know,
if we could put a wooden floor in that one big room where, I don't know what's under the rug, maybe it is a wooden floor. If we can be able to open that up as a place again for a drop-in center when it's not being booked for anything else.
Yeah. And it's not booked for a whole lot.
It's not booked for a whole lot.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Because, you know, I did run a youth running group at the John D. Bradley Center for a little while there. So when I tried to get one started here, it was tough. So I went to actually Leamington. I called Leamington, and they said, okay, we got this. We can do it tomorrow. Literally can do it tomorrow. We can start it. Then after getting started there, then the Atlas too. But then I'm like begging
Mm-hmm.
and we finally did something with the John D. Bradley Center, but it would be nice that, because it's such a big space that you could use a lot of stuff. What do you guys think of the John D. Bradley Center being used for more of a sports center almost? Because, you know, you could have a big indoor soccer.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think of the casino coming to town? Would we be able to maybe get more use of the convention center if there's a casino sitting there?
I would hope so.
Right, because there's more of a draw. And
there's more of a draw for people to come to Chatham. Because right now, I mean, I've put on a few conferences myself in the past too. And in order to have people come to a conference, you also need to have other things that they can do in Chatham-Kent.
Yeah.
So what I had to do was, you know, rent buses and then bus people over to, it was really cool. We went to Buxton.
Okay.
And we had a dinner there, and they had music for us in the church. And then we went to TJ Stables, and we had a sort of a rodeo night and a barbecue.
Right.
So there were a few things that we did in Chatham-Kent, and I really did want to highlight Chatham-Kent as much as possible. But I had to bus people out. So if there was and then again, there was a large contingent of younger people, and they wanted to go out at night, but there really wasn't a lot of bars or things for younger people to do in Chatham-Kent at that time, and that we're going back probably 10 or 12 years at the old Wheels Inn. So
everybody likes the old Wheels Inn. How do we get something like that back? And I guess, you know, when we get a casino or whatever, other things may develop. Actually, Ryan Jackson had a good idea about recreational promoting recreational businesses that kind of like laser tag and stuff like that. And that was a pretty good idea, Ryan. Hopefully you push that forward in your efforts, which is really good. What else? What do you got here? What is this? Because it looks like a gift. Sorry, guys, to cut her off. Looks like I might get a gift here.
Yes, it's a gift. So I brought some of my home canning from my garden because what I did to raise funds for my campaign was I sold pickles. So $10 a jar for pickles, and I probably sold
all these 50. From your garden?
Yeah, everything's from my garden.
Okay.
Hot and sweet bread and butter pickles.
Check out this. This is great. This is a good gig, people, and getting stuff.
Yeah.
And it's all unique.
Jalapeno pepper jelly.
Jalapeno pepper jelly. Oh my.
So that is great on crackers with a little cream cheese.
You're going to be in competition with Melissa Harrigan in Ward 1.
I didn't see that interview.
She was talking about a jalapeno jelly, I believe.
Okay.
But it's jalapeno pepper. So, Melissa, if you're watching, you got some competition here.
So on the weekend, I got tired of making pickles, so I made relish. And this is a really nice tangy relish.
So this is real relish?
That's real relish, fresh from my garden.
Awesome stuff. So this is a lot of stuff to come from a garden.
Oh yeah, and
how big is this garden?
It's about twice the size of this room, so maybe 20 by 20.
That's a serious garden.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it. That's my stress relief is my gardening after cycling.
Yeah. So
that's peach.
Okay.
Peach and jalapeno deli, so it's like a sweet hot.
So you're the one in the statistics that is consuming the vegetables in your area.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I pretty much do.
And wow, you got vanilla jam?
Pear and vanilla jam, so those are pears from our tree.
Wow, you got a serious thing going on. Strawberry rhubarb?
Yeah, from my garden as well.
And what else we get?
Those are jalapeno. Pickled jalapenos.
You're big on the jalapenos.
Yeah, we had a abundant crop, so.
And then we got salsa.
Like to waste. Yeah, that's really good salsa too.
Awesome.
And again, the tomatoes are from my garden. Peppers, onions.
What is the biggest thing grown in Ward 4?
Tomatoes, I would think.
Tomatoes.
Corn, soybeans, but probably tomatoes.
Tomatoes. Awesome, and that's a good tomato.
My garden.
This is a good part. Okay, so you do some serious work here.
So I like to repurpose and use everything. I don't waste. I'm pretty frugal. People would call me cheap. I call myself frugal. Efficient, and I really enjoy eating things that I got my hands dirty with. That, I guess, is my farming background, right? To help with a little bit of that. I wasn't born on a farm, but I married a farmer almost 40 years ago now.
Now he's watching this. You've hooked him up to Facebook temporarily.
Yes, he's not on Facebook, so I gave him my iPad. I gave him a little tutorial on how to use it.
Right.
And I hope he's watching right now, and my son and grandson should be there too.
And what's his name?
My husband is Morris.
Morris, if you're watching, hit that like button.
You would know where it is.
That's awesome. There's a lot of people learning social media, and actually, this election is a lot of social media stuff. You see a lot of people doing their own videos and communicating here. Hey Brenda, how are you? So that's kind of cool, and good that you're introducing him. My mom and dad are in regular fights with actually Google. You know the Google thing?
Yeah.
And my mom can't get 94.3 to play.
I'm the same way.
Well, she thinks it's because of female voice.
Oh, I don't know. Can your dad get it to play?
My dad gets it to play, but my mom has an issue getting it to play, and she is in a heated battle on a regular basis with Hey Google.
Yeah.
And so it's always a battle. Brenda says, hi, Pat.
Hi, Brenda.
Good stuff. So we're going to be wrapping up here shortly, but make sure you get your questions and comments in. If you're watching this on the replay, hit still a question in that, and you'll get back to them. Now, what is one thing that you could tell people that separates you from other candidates or from anyone else, and why should they vote for you in Ward 4? You certainly can garden.
Yeah, I can garden. I can cycle. I can listen to people. I have a very good listening skills. I also can talk to people. Over 20 years in sales and business development gives me, I think, I've been able to hone the skill of listening and rephrasing what people are actually asking me. And then I'm a good problem solver. For almost 20 years, I was an account manager with a purchasing group. And so in that role, I had to do a lot of problem solving. So I connected people to other people or sourced out solutions for their situation that they were in. And I also was able to learn a lot about long-term care, retirement homes, and that sort of thing. So I know both sides of the business, I guess. So I feel that I'm pretty strong in my negotiating skills, my sales skills, and being able to also understand the business world, because I talk to a lot of owners of retirement homes, long-term care facilities, and they're kind of in battle with the municipal homes that get more taxpayer dollars and are able to do more, and the small owners of nursing homes or long-term care facilities don't have that opportunity to spend more than what the government gets them, because then they're not making a profit.
Right.
So some of that, I think, is what separates me from the others. It's that more business savvy, I would say, than some of the others. Well, in a lot of different ways. And then also my agricultural background with my husband being on the farm and understanding the needs of the farmers in Ward 4.
One thing that people having a sales background, and I'm in real estate, so I'm all about learning about sales and that. I've always found that we're not doing a great enough job in Chatham-Kent, and I could be wrong, this is my opinion, of selling Chatham-Kent. And that's to selling business people to come here and start a business, selling it as a tourist destination, selling our community for what I think is great, the greatness about it.
Yeah.
Do you think, kind of having that perspective or that background can help you have more input on maybe beefing up the sales kind of attack strategy?
Like the marketing.
Yeah.
Right? It's like a marketing job as well.
Yeah.
If you're representing your ward, you're also marketing your ward, you're marketing the city. And that's sort of the other thing that I'd like to achieve on council is to tear down some of the walls that are that the wards have built up. We're all the city of Chatham-Kent now, and it's been 20 years now that we're all the city. 1998, right? So that's a long time to have. I know people have long memories, and I've been in business long enough to know that people have really long memories on some things. But I think we really have to work together. Yes, I want to represent all the people in Ward 4, but I also want to do what's best for all of the people in Chatham-Kent, because we might be opening up a new factory in Wallaceburg, but there's going to be people from Pancourt, Mitchells Bay, Dresden, Blenheim, Tilbury also working at that plant. So we're all one big community, and I'd like to be able to, tear down some of the walls a little bit.
All right, let's look at this. Brian Jackson has another question. What's your thoughts on size of council and plans to unite Chatham Kent as a community? So he went right into that. Let's go. So you've already kind of had a plan to unite Chatham Kent. What do you think about the size of council?
Size of council, I haven't. I know that Toronto has been downsized remarkably, but I think that based on the geography, not so much the population, but the geography, especially in Ward 4, I can't imagine having less councillors in that ward. I can imagine divvying up the ward a little bit differently, because when I talk to people that are in north of Wallaceburg, they really relate to Wallaceburg more than they do to North Kent. So I can see maybe divvying it up a little bit different, so it doesn't only follow the town, limits or the city limits, but making it more maybe of a pie shape or different than what it is now. I would be open to discussing that for sure.
The more I sit with candidates, it's almost you start. Everybody is now coming with different things from their area. It's almost like you got to know the area or live in the area to kind of really understand what's going on there and know your neighbors and that. And so yeah, it makes it tough. Probably Chatham Kent's probably one of the toughest places to actually answer the question of size of council and boundaries, really, because you really kind of got to know everything.
Yeah.
So hey guys, get your last questions in. We're going to wrap it up here shortly. And anything else you want to add here? One thing I do want to ask you. My son, he's run a couple half marathons now.
Okay.
He's 11 years old.
Cool.
Okay, so and he's got I think an hour 49 half. He does a lot of long distance running.
Yeah.
And I always start off telling them is that if you can run a marathon, which is not easy, okay?
No, it's not.
So running a marathon is not easy. Do you think it helps you later in life, tackle things? Because it's mentally tough, physically tough, and it's kind of relates to everything else you do in life, even running for council or representing places. But it's tough in so many ways to run long distances, and you've now run 3 marathons. Or, what do you think that could do for a kid's future? Let's say, how you've felt.
Well, first of all, you have to be able to put a plan together, follow the plan, follow through on it. You have to have enough gumption, I guess, to get up in the morning, do your training every day, not skip a day.
Not easy.
Not easy. Everything that you do is going to be based on that goal. So if it's a half marathon or a marathon, or even a 5K for people that are just starting out, whatever your goal is, you've got to put your plan into place, and you've got to follow that plan, and you've got to trust the plan.
Yeah.
Right? You need to trust, this is going to be too hard. No, my plan says I have to do this. I'm going to go out and do it.
Right.
So it's mindset for sure.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, where I'm a little competitive too.
Yeah.
So.
And now, do you have a plan to get on to council here? Do you have a strategy? Have you put that together?
I have sort of put it together. Yeah. I've kind of mapped out where I want to be, where I'm going to knock on doors, when I'm going to knock on doors, and also where I'm going to go out and meet people. Where's the best opportunity for people to meet me? And so I've got things laid out.
And
I'm a planner.
And speaking of mindset, because mindset is huge. As a personal trainer, I teach about mindset, and it's hard to kind of convince people about mindset.
Yeah.
And in sales, when you're working with other people that want to get into sales or want to get doing stuff, even like this Facebook Live stuff, I get calls all the time. How do I get started? And it's all about mindset. How do we change Chatham Kent's mindset? Because in the past, I've always felt, and many others have felt, that we have it doesn't work here. It won't work here mindset. How do we change that to it will work here, try it?
Yeah, I think that that's a really good question. Like, that is a really good question, because I mean, when I was in management, when I was managing staff, you always get that, well, we tried that before and it didn't work.
Right.
So it's just, okay, what didn't work? breaking it down into smaller chunks. Don't tell me that it didn't work. What exactly didn't work? Was it you didn't get enough support? Was it we didn't put enough time and effort into the follow-up of it? Was it that we don't have enough money behind the program? What exactly didn't work? So it's breaking things down into smaller, bite-sized chunks that then people can take and work with, right?
Awesome. That's probably the best stuff you'll hear, because a lot of it is breaking it down, why it didn't work, and a lot of times it's stuff I haven't been successful in, probably didn't work too hard at it, you know, and then I lower my own expectations of it, and then you don't get anywhere near. So, well, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for
and
having me.
hopefully you'll be at one of my roundtable sessions.
I hope so.
Okay, and well, we're going to do a round 2. We start on the 12th with our first one.
And I'm out of town that night, otherwise I would have been there.
And so you'll be at the second one, hopefully. And I'm still going to wait to announce what date that is, but it'll be fun.
It will be.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Thanks, Ben.
And thank you guys. Hey, Marjorie Crew, how you doing? Thank you guys for watching. Again, hit that share button. Still ask questions on the replay, and you'll get back to them. And good stuff. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.